Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. I'm Gil, and yes, it's Friday night on the Homestead. Woohoo! And tonight's topic is a little play on words here. It's the day after yesterday, the second day of spring. And so let me bring, oh, there we go. And Mark's using the wrong channel.
What channel?
You should be using Mad Chick because we're talking gardening.
Whatever. Okay, I'll change my name in my picture. Just remember one simple fact.
Yeah.
Today is tomorrow. Yesterday.
Yep.
And yesterday is today, tomorrow.
And today is yesterday, the day after tomorrow. Today is yesterday, tomorrow, and the day before yesterday, the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Just call me Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, last week is this week, next week. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Let me go over here. I only got a few people in here so far. Oh, it says 10 up above. So we got a bunch of people lurking. Lurking is fine. Just where is it here? There we go. Lurking is fine, but please, check in, say hi, say lurking, listening, whatever, and hit the thumbs up. All right, so who do we have here? So first one in was Walt, then Troop 1351, then Phelan, then Walt got ads. No, it looks like no one else got ads. Holly Ivins is in here. Then you came in, and then Lewis came in. It's the Marshmallow Man. Shady Hill Homestead is here. Diana 2 is here. Geeky Gardens is here. Woohoo! Oh, and Geeky Gardens put out a video today on his green stalk planter. Setting it up for strawberries. Real cool video. So if you guys have never done a green stalk or know anything about it, check out Geeky Gardens video on that. And let me go ahead and I just got a congratulations for making a comment on it. Alrighty. So tonight, I kind of changed what I was thinking about doing with it a little bit. Yeah, it's it's the day after tomorrow, the movie where everything got cold, and there's been several of the weather channels pointing out, all right, this unusual warming in the wintertime. There are scientific papers coming out saying, wow, this could lead to a real life day after tomorrow scenario.
Yeah, sure. Scare tactics.
Yeah, well, no, actually, no, these are the ones that are usually pretty mellow about stuff. Saying, hey, there's a possibility, not strong, but indicators are there that things could go this way or they could not. They're being ambiguous about it, but at least they're pointing out that, hey, there is a possibility.
Here's the possibility an asteroid the size of the Empire State Building is going to land on my head right now. There's a possibility. It probably won't happen, but there's a possibility.
No, there's no possibility because there is nothing up there to come land on your head. Now, in a couple months, there's a possibility, but right now, no.
Sure.
Anyways, what's interesting is I was watching some reels. I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and I didn't save it. I wanted to save it. I did. I may have sent it to somebody, but anyways, it's from back when Leonard Nimoy was narrating these scientific things on TV.
Oh, I remember that.
And the big thing back then was, oh no, we're going into an ice age.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is back in the 70s.
Yep.
And we're going to an ice age. And so they, basically it was the opening trailer for it. And JL, welcome. Or sorry, LJ. Sorry, got it backwards. I may be a little dyslexic at times. Anyways, so they were talking about the back then was the big thing back then was, okay, the polar ice cap started to melt. Now they're building back up again. And one of the things that is interesting about it is he was talking about, I can't remember the ports, the harbors that have been ice-free all summer for decades. And then all of a sudden, for the last couple of years, they've been iced over all summer. Wait a minute, that kind of throws things into the face of the global warming crowd. But this was back, all right, in the 70s. Now we're looking at what, 50 years ago? And then they kind of dismissed all that. And then Al Gore and his crowd, oh, we're on CO2. Oh, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So, anyways. Oh, okay, hang on. I am betting that LJ changed her name and it's Lori Jean, Queen of the North. So I just noticed the Canadian flag on there. In search of, yes, in search of. Excellent.
Oh,
excellent.
Thanks, Magic Acres. You're so smart.
Yeah. All right. Yep, it is. It's Lori. Woo! All right. So, but then again, one of the interesting things is that if you look at the scientific premise behind the Day After Tomorrow movie, and then jump back into the late 70s, early 80s, there was a show put out called Connections. Really good educational, and he would connect the dots to how we got the modern street light. All the things that had to come in order. Dink, 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 dink. Oh, street light. And it's really interesting. Now, one of the things he did a special, a 2-hour special, 2.5-hour special, and it was talked about the little ice age, how it suddenly jumped on the scene practically overnight back in 1370.
No, ice age. No, well, we had the summer without a sun. That was because of
that was later on, but this was back in the 1300s.
Yeah, that was from a volcanic eruption. They just didn't know about it because it was on the other side of the world.
No, that not this one. Not this one. This one they figured out what it was from. It was getting warmer. The temperatures were warmer then than it is now. England, jolly old England, with their nice cold summers and winters, was growing better grapes than France. And France, through extreme, like 150% tariffs on the English wine, because it was destroying the French wine industry, because they were producing so much of it so cheap and so much better than French wines that the king goes, bullpucky, and they threw tariffs on it.
And they didn't use nitrates back then.
Up in Canada, there was a huge glacial lake. When I say glacial lake, there was a landlocked lake, landlocked by a glacier. And the lake was getting warmer and warmer, and it was huge. It was bigger than any of the Great Lakes. In fact, I think it's bigger than all the Great Lakes combined, if I remember right. And what happened was the ice finally melted enough that glacier broke free, and all that water went up into the North Atlantic current, down into the Great Atlantic
conveyor.
Yeah, and stopped it dead cold with all that freshwater intrusion. And since all that warm water wasn't coming up along the east coast of the United States to warm the northern continents, guess what happened? Instant ice age.
That's a whole lot of speculation to come out with one thing, because there ain't no proof of it.
Oh, there is. They were showing all the proof. They're showing all the core samples they had and everything else going on, and all the written records of how the fishing changed, how all of a sudden the current got cold. They were recording it over in Europe when the current got really cold on it, and just everything was just, ding to ding to ding to ding. And it's like, whoa. And that's kind of what the day after tomorrow scenario was based on, was freshwater intrusion causing the current to go and stop.
I bet all that fresh water coming from inland going to the ocean must have caused all kinds of floods and mud floods everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Anyways, and of course, the entire level of the ocean rose by a 1/4 inch.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You better sell your property quick and move. You're going to die. You're going to drown. Yeah.
And right. Little known preppers in the house. Hey, Tammy Harder's here. Jay's in the house. Who else did I miss? All right. I think I got Diana too. Anyways, so what today's premise is a little bit. I just got a couple pictures here. So what if it all goes wrong this year for your garden? What are you going to do? What are your options? I'll be
eating all my canned goods from last year.
All right, that's true. And Darren, I can't use his last name. Thorhaven Homestead did a video a year and a half ago of their pantry, and he had the one year they had a bumper crop of green beans. The next year they had practically nothing, but they had canned so many green beans the year before. They just started eating all their canned beans, and they still had stuff left over by the next summer. So, this is one of the things is, a bumper crop can lead to you can expect some crop to fail the next year. It's just the way gardens work.
LJ's about to eat the bugs.
Yeah. So, one of the things on it is that, crops that you have to sow and grow up each year is a gamble, basically. Think about it. It's a gamble. Are these seeds going to germinate this year? They germinated good last year. They may not germinate good this year. Next year, they may germinate good, but this year they're kind of So you may have a bunch of stuff go And so, but if you can take a hint, what I'm trying to get at here, what goes good just about every year, are trees, fruit trees, citrus trees, and if you're in the right climate, nut trees. Note eats the bugs.
I love the bugs. They're crunchy.
So anyways, get back to this again. So one of the things I want to point out is, you plant, these I found some, I searched some pictures for front yard orchards. And I got some backyard ones too popped up that were kind of interesting, but this one I thought was really cool. These guys are going all out to do it right. So they can water the trees. And I look in here and I see, I'm not quite sure what's, look at the one line coming from the bottom here, and it has a valve to that first ring. Maybe it was getting overwatered and they added a valve in there so they could limit the watering to it. But I mean, that is a good way to make sure the trees get watered properly. And I see all this piles of gravel around, like they're going to put landscape fabric down, and they got all the rocks here, so they're probably going to do it up, to limit weeds and stuff out there.
So you got to put where your water source comes from. If you're using the same diameter pipe for a length and it goes just to an end, like a dead end, you need to put valves on pretty much everything except for the very last one in line, because you're going to get the most water pressure at the first one, and it goes down from there. So you got to shut the valves and to get them equal. So when you turn your water on, everybody gets the same amount of water, and the first one doesn't flood and the last one doesn't starve. Sorry, I know these things because I learned the hard way.
Yeah, I know. For me, I would have gone down. It looks like they're using 1 inch pipe, 1 inch white pipe PVC. I would have gone down to like a half inch at each tee there coming off each of those circles to restrict it a little bit. And that way it'll maintain the pressure throughout the entire system. But hey, that's just me. Anyways, some backyard ones here, front yard ones again. Hey, alongside the driveway, they look decorative.
Yeah, until your car is parked next to it when they're 20 feet tall, and now you got apples smashing into your hood in the middle of the night.
Well, see, that's where proper maintenance of your trees come in, where you have the ladder, you go up and you thin the apples ahead of time.
Yeah, so you bonsai apple trees. They're awesome.
Yeah, so instead of getting 40,000 little 1.5-inch apples that come raining down, you get some bigger ones, and then you just go out and you use the poles and just pick them. But the next one here, right? These next two photos are the same planter. Okay, you see the big tree in the background, the little white building. You'll be hard to see it in the next one, but it's there. And you see what they did is they used cal panel, and they did the tree up, and they took the branches and made it flat across the cal panel. All right. And so several years later, this is what it looks like. You ready? I don't know if you can see my cursor moving over by the end here. You can see that big tree, and back over here, you can see that white building through the trees. You can see it. So, and the planter, it's the same planter. All right. And now they've added here. Oh, now they're adding more planters back here, as you can see on the far left there, to do the same thing. And I think that's really cool.
It looks like they added a couple more trees on the same panel.
No, on this there's only 2 trees here. You got 3 T-posts.
Oh, it's T-posts. I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See the T-posts?
Oh, okay. Oh, it's just a longer bed. They only show 1 tree there. Gotcha.
Yeah, and here you can barely see the part of the other tree right here on the left.
Right.
But the next one, there's no T-post in it on the ends. The next 2. But here on the next one here, you can see T-posts in the next 2 over there in the cal panels. So it looks like they were experimenting with this one. It goes, oh, this is working good. We're going to do the other ones too. And what's neat about this? What's neat about this is
you can get the apples from both sides.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You just got to trim the branches that try to venture away from the cattle panel, which they want to.
Yeah. And so it's like bonsai on a large scale. These aren't small trees. These are going to be bigger trees.
That's a 2-dimensional bonsai.
Yeah, exactly.
Length and width. Yeah, just width and height.
In a couple more years, they'll probably, what I would do in a couple more years is let one go straight up and then let it do umbrella up high. Just a little umbrella a little bit. So that you got more, you can reach up and get them and stuff, and you got the other ones right in front of you, and of course, then you got to do a lot of pruning on top once you let it go up every year.
Or
yes, Lori, that's
just let him go.
That's the next one I was going to talk about. Oh, here comes Lewis. Maybe there he is. All right, Lewis, gotcha.
There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have his faces right in the middle of the Canadian flag from LJ.
Yeah, Lori Jean. So, Lori, why are you flying your flag upside down?
Because they're in distress. Shocker.
Oh, that's right. But there. Before I saw this type of system, and I've seen this before, but I've seen them where they've done it in backyards along the fence line, and do it like grapes. They do the fruit tree branches like grapes, run them up and run them out. And actually doing that, they plant them farther apart, and the branches then grow longer, and they just put some support now and then on the fence to hold the big heavy branches out going farther out. And it's a really cool idea. Now, is that the last one? That's the last one. So to me, as planning for insurance against general crop failures, get my tongue untied here. Let's see. I'm growing taters and buckets that had much on the ground last year. Cool. And all right. Holly, on that. So the first year I planted stuff here, I planted in 55-gallon barrels that I had cut in half. We'd loaded it up with rabbit manure that had composted all year and mixed in some other soil and stuff into it. And I got with my tomatoes. That January, we bought the house across the street where I'm at now. And I moved those tubs over here. And I planted tomatoes again in it. This time the tomatoes went absolutely bonkers. The next year, when I planted tomatoes in it, they went again. And so, I changed up. So I mixed all, dumped all the dirt out, added more compost to it, mixed it up each time. So it's just that one of the things is you can't count on getting the same result every year.
Did you add, by any chance, any Epsom salt, eggshells, banana peels, and
all right, I added the Epsom salts, and I added the fast acting gypsum for gardens, which is the calcium. I did not have any in blossom rot. The year went. Last year, I forgot to add some of the gypsum in the big IBC totes. And first time I saw some blossom end rot on a tomato, mix up the gypsum, get it in the hot water to get it all dissolved, let it cool down, and pour the water all around the tomatoes. Disappeared. Didn't have any more blossom end rot that year on those tomatoes.
Yep.
If you want something fast acting, milk or yogurt.
Yeah. And so, those are all things that do it fast. But the fast acting, I got that information from I got it from Courtney and Dustin at White Family Farm. They were having problems, and I'm not sure who told them about it, but they put some of the out there, and all of a sudden it was gone. The blossom and rot went away as well.
See, I'm just rogue. I have a burn barrel, and I burn all my brush, not pressure treated wood and stuff that gets burned separately or getting rid of. And then I don't make it into charcoal. Oh no, I just burn it, and all the ash in that. No, I just put it in a bucket and I go around and I just sprinkle it everywhere, and it just goes in there. And I've had no problems. I do it usually in the wintertime. So that way it has the snow and all the rain in that to let it soak down in and do its thing. And I had no bugs this past year on my tomatoes. Of course, this year I'm probably going to get destroyed. But I have never tested my soil yet. I probably need to, but it scares me to test it because then I'm going to start adding stuff and then it won't work at all.
What's interesting on my soil up here, because of where we are with the basalt lava flows and stuff up here, it is very, very alkali soil up here. Like on the pH scale, it hits 8.5 or higher. 8.5 is where my tester ends at. And it was black beyond that. So it was probably 9.5. And what I have noticed around town is, hang on. I think my daughter's texting me. Let's see what she wants. No, it wasn't her. Andrew. Hang on. What's going on here? What?
Tornado warning. Run.
Okay, I got to reply to this one real quick. He is not here. There we go. Yeah, here's Daniel has dinner to eat there, and I haven't seen Daniel since they took him this morning. He spent the night last night, and at 9:45 he ran back across the street because he has to go to his speech therapy to help him with his little lisp, and I haven't seen him since. Anyways,
so your pH level?
pH level up, but I noticed that a lot of people back in the 100 years ago or so, seems
You were
like.
saying something about the other side of town you noticed.
Yeah, we're planting cottonwood trees around here because they grew quick and for windbreaks. Well, people around town decades ago, we're realizing the soil here needs, you were learning about the pH of the soil and stuff. And so people were taking down the cottonwood trees because they were getting too big, they were breaking, they were falling, landing in the wrong places. And he took off 5 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
He's out
in your driveway somewhere playing.
Yeah. I'll have to take a good look to see if he comes. I didn't hear him come in the house, so unless he was really quiet about it. Anyway, so they started planting pine trees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've seen 2 oak trees here. And I believe those are the Rocky Mountain white oaks, which are rated down to zone 2. And the ones that have the oak trees have better gardens because the oak leaves and stuff really put off a lot of acid leaves and help lower the pH down to the acidic side, or back down to normal, back down to neutral. And so I got talk with my wife. I just found out about the oak trees yesterday. I checked the Idaho University extension page, and they had an article on it. And okay, people are telling the truth about it. So so I noticed for here, the underneath the pine trees where the needles would fall and everything and build up, the pH was like at 6.5.
That ain't hateful.
The one pine tree we had, the couple pine trees we had here, rather than being at 8.5 or 9 or 9.5. So that's on our thing is to try to get stuff. Plus the wood chips themselves, whatever type tree it is, wood chips themselves help lower the pH. But unfortunately,
you got plenty of those.
Yeah, got plenty of those. Got plenty truckloads, and I'm going to talk to the guys here in a month or so and say, hey, like I say, you need a place to dump the wood chips. Just bring them over here and just start dumping them. I got 2 acres over here for you to dump them on, so I can spread them out and
let them rot.
Spread them out, let them rot, maybe till them under, and put out then the cover crop for the winter and get good stuff growing out there. One of the things is to consider on that is that most of your fruit trees, especially what I've seen around here, generally don't care too much about pH.
Yeah, it might affect the flavor or the acidity of your fruit, but
yeah. But for the cherries, the apricots, the peaches, the pears that everybody grows around here, the only thing that bothers them for their crops is the friggin' spring winds. Yeah. And since the last several days here, well, not yesterday, a couple days before, so today's Friday. So Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we had winds blowing up the wazoo, and the house was shaking, and none of the trees have blossomed out yet. If we can get all the winds gone now, as the atmosphere around here starts to equalize again from the warming up, everybody may wind up with bumper crops of fruit on their trees this year.
Cool. You better buy more jars and lids and rings. And
well,
canners.
I got what I probably got about 400 jars out in the cargo container.
Cool.
I tried. I started to do it, and it was just every now and then when I do it, sometimes it grows in nice and it feels okay. Other times the hairs decide to go which way. Hang on a second. I think I just heard somebody here. Hang on.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So yeah, Danny snuck in very quietly, and his mom just came over and found him.
It's all your fault, Grandpa.
I know what he wanted. He wanted to eat dinner over here. He wanted to have the same thing he had for breakfast. A steak, a thin steak I had. I got, if you saw my video on my second March prepper haul, those steaks I was cooking up on that, he decided he likes those. But anyways, so the mustache is this last time I grew it, it was just really hairs were curling all different ways, trying to get in my mouth, trying to curl up my nose. Like, I don't have time to mess with that. So I thought the staff sergeant was coming. She likes me clean shaven.
Yeah, I'll be removing the hair head and the beard hair tomorrow. I can't take it anymore. I do it for the winter time. Well, winter's over for me. I'm done.
Yeah.
Back to bald. It's easier.
Actually, let me see if I can do something here. Just for laughs and giggles, let's see if I can find. Okay. No, that was that picture. Where's ours? Dang it. Thought I had it up here. Nope, I didn't put it up here. I had it somewhere else. Oh, well, can't share it. Yeah, when we got married, I had a small mustache, well-trimmed mustache, not very thick, not very long. And about 6 months later, I was going to do it long and started going longer. I started chewing on the end of it. Oh yeah, it was. She came in there with scissors. She said, "Either you take care of it, or I'm going to cut it off."
My wife likes when I grow my hair back in the wintertime. Until about now, she's like, "Yeah, time to shave it back off again." Like, okay, I don't care. Looks like somebody sheared a sheep in the backyard when I get done.
And my dog.
Yeah, well, I got curly hair and it's gray. So, yeah, it looks like wool.
So, when Lori's talking about growing back the mustache, let me see. I got a picture here. Hang on, close that off there. Dang, I hate it when they do this. Well, at least I'm getting paid for it. I was going to show you one of my videos, and one of my old videos are throwing commercials up on, but the new ones are not. Okay. So, all right, you ready for this? This was 5 years ago when Lori was first following me and everything else. And this is right before I shaved it off. So this was early 2020, or actually, I think this was late 2019.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So,
what a redneck. Like, y'all ain't gonna believe what I did last night. I planted me some seeds and they grew.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of seeds, so I had my little thing two evenings ago. So Wednesday evening, I put the paper towels down, put the water in there, put the seeds in there, and I got about 20 of them now that have little roots coming off of them. So I'm going to need to plant them either tonight or tomorrow morning. into the pots. So I got a bunch of tomatoes that are ready to be potted, and 5 or 6 of the bell peppers that are ready to be potted. So, but yeah, the thing is, for your planning for your garden is, it's like, what you're planning to do out there at your property out there, just spreading out tons of seeds just to get stuff to grow to see what happens.
I'm just going rogue this year. I just want to plant lots of random stuff and just see if I get lots of random food. And if I do, great. If I don't, okay, the deer got hungry, and then the neighbors will be happy when they shoot them. So,
yeah, you better start bringing the deer in. And like Tammy said, when Tammy takes videos of deer on the property and stuff, she goes, "All right, there's the SHTF meat locker."
Yep.
So, and that's the thing is, if you are able to toss out a bunch of seeds, and I got a 5-pound bag of sorghum. I'm going to mark up, put out some T-posts, plant it in that area, water it. I got some other stuff, other bags of just general loose seed mixes. I'm going to plant in areas just to see how it does across the street. And hopefully it will overpower the weeds and stuff. Hopefully. But yeah, it's it's just going to be trying to get stuff growing. I'm trying to build up the soil over there with the hope of being able to raise livestock over there for the meat locker. But as far as I'm going to see if my daughter and son-in-law are going to try putting more apple trees over there. Of course, they decided they were going to put apple trees way out on the far side of the property. And then he'd go out there and ladle water onto it from a 5-gallon bucket. It's like, you need to dump that full 5-gallon bucket on each tree twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I got the rocks, all the cobble rocks around. So they're in the morning, they're picking up the dew and stuff and watering the trees that way. No, it's not. That's not watering the trees. That's watering the weeds in the top quarter-inch of the soil.
Yeah.
If the rocks even collect dew.
Yeah, trees when you first plant them, they need a ton of water twice a day.
Yeah. And even the ones that survived for the second year and the third year, he was still ladling, they were scrawny, ladling water on it. And half of them died. It's like, that's because you're not putting enough water on them.
Yeah, I don't know why they died. I watered them every day.
No, he watered them every other day.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when I was out there, when I was, before we bought this, when I was out there, sometimes he went 2 or 3 days without watering.
Mm.
And it's like, no, trees are like your little garden plot. You need to water it every friggin' day. Yeah, he was watching somebody on YouTube saying, "Oh no, why don't you plant trees? They get established the first year. You don't have to worry about watering them that much." We had a fig tree that was established on the property. We were renting a property. And it was well established. I mean, you're talking about a trunk that big around for a fig tree. And if we didn't water it heavily during the summer, there was no figs on it.
Well, yeah, figs kind of need water to be figs.
I mean, it's sort of like oranges need water. They need well-drained soil, but they still need a lot of water.
I don't know anything about figs, but you know how much water is in oranges and lemons and apples and pears and peaches?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they do good in rainy areas like Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, until they some big corporation bought off a certain people's in the congressional area and in the four-letter agency, and they went in and they oh, they got a disease blight down there. We need to get rid of them. Every orange tree. So, we can stop it, including the healthy ones. If they have a tree at all, we need to get rid of it. And they wiped out Florida's orange.
Why don't they just put little masks on all the oranges to slow the spread?
That ain't happening.
Anyways, the thing is, a lot of the farmers were screaming, "There's nothing wrong with these; are healthy trees." And they came in and just cut them all down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they want us dead.
No, all the orange crops moved overseas, where these corporations had bought up citrus farms and stuff, and then they drove the price up. And whatever survived there in Florida, every time it gets cold, because they don't have all the big machinery that they used to have to keep the air moving and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, so as far as we go here, wherever we are here in the United States and Canada, and well, he's not in here. I was going to say Sweden, but wherever you're at, find out what variety of tree does best in your area for fruit and stuff.
Oh, I'm set by me, because I got apple, pear, peach, you name it, and there's a farm up in near Lancaster, PA, that they'll sell you any and every tree, and they all grow in my zone. Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably next year once I get some more stuff established out there. And I've already figured out how to because I have a high spot on the property that's kind of in the tree line that I can hide. Mm-hmm. And I can get my hands on more 55-gallon drums for free. And I've already plumbed in 8 of them at once just to do a rain barrel system. And I can do that and just fill them up with water. I got pumps and stuff to fill them up with stream water, running through a screen strainer, and just put a valve on it on a digital timer, battery powered. So it just opens up and shuts, twice a day or once a day, whatever, and just run tubes. I got enough tubing to probably irrigate 100 acres. Yeah. And just run it all down there and keep everybody happy and watered. And I'm not going to worry about it. Put some fence around to keep the animals off of it. And put some trail cams up on the water barrels to keep the neighbors off of it.
And don't forget, when you plant the trees like this and stuff, a couple T-posts and some 5-foot tall fence wrapped around it for the first several years.
Yep. And about 4 feet out so they can grow.
Yeah, if you really want to be mean about it, on the T-post, have the T-post facing out with the flat side with the little knobbies on it. Then you're just going to put those little clips on it and run a hot wire around it and put a little solar a little
electric fence setup.
Yeah, a little solar one, and just in between, you just run an extension cord between each one, and this we run a bunch of them that way.
I haven't had to put T-posts on my trees yet, my fruit trees that I've planted. Mm-hmm. Because they were, I don't want to say they were like 5-6 years old when I got them, so they're doing good.
Yeah. Across the street, the one apple tree that was over there, that was still producing a lot of apples. I got to talk to my daughter, figure out whether she cut it down or Lazy cut it down. But the last year it was getting kind of because they weren't out there pruning it and doing everything right. Because I told them, if you guys prune it and stuff, it was an older tree and it was near the end of its thing. You keep it pruned and you thin it, you'll get lots of apples on it. They were getting lots of mini apples and stuff. The deer were just all over that tree.
Oh yeah.
Nobody was home.
Right.
And
I gotta get with my sister again. She's got a neighbor behind her that has, I think there's like 8 apple trees that never got cut down, but they don't take care of them. And I went up there one year, and I think I did it the wrong time of year, and cut a bunch of branches off, brought them home, and tried to root them. 2 of them rooted, but they died. But I think I left too many leaves on there, so I got to do a little more research into propagating from a stem and the time of year and all that for apples. Because I'll propagate them. I don't care. I'll propagate 100 of them, and hopefully I get 50, and I'll plant every single one of them.
I've seen it where you cut. You don't cut the branch off, but you cut the bark off like so far in. And then you take like some paper towel or something like that, and then you take and wrap it around there, and then you'll put water on it.
Yeah, that's for grafting. When you're grafting a branch onto rootstock. Yeah, that.
No. This is before. No, this is while the branch is still on the live tree.
Mm.
Yeah, and they got little kits that you fill full of potting soil and stuff.
Yeah,
it's called
air rooting, where you strip the bark down, you wrap it up in this stuff with a little bit of soil, and it actually starts to root while it's still attached to the tree. Yeah. And then you cut it off, and now you have either rootstock or your main stock or whatever you want to use it for.
All right, so this is not an actual picture of what was going on over at my daughter's, but this is what the neighbors that were seeing it said it looked like.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's in Africa, but that's all right. Those are gazelles.
That's an apex. That's a deer on an apple tree.
That's a deer.
That's a deer.
Okay, you got a funky looking rack for a deer. That's a young one then.
That's a young one, yeah. But yeah. And let me see. It doesn't say where. It just says deer eating from an apple tree. They got a couple other ones of it. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's so many different varieties of deer in the United States.
Oh yeah.
You got mule deer. You got shoot. I just went blank on it.
You got key deer down on Deer Key in Florida. They're like little tiny. They're like little puppy deer. They're cute as anything. They don't get very big.
I know. When I go hunting with one of the guys from work, we'd go to specific zones in California because they had the bigger deer. There was, let me see if I can figure this out. Types. Mule deer, Colombian, black-tailed deer, a white-tailed deer, fallow deer. Yeah.
Yeah, we got whitetail out here. That's pretty much all we got.
Yeah. Because California has everything from the mule deer and stuff are near the I don't want to call them the mountains, but they're
the hills, the highlands,
the high hills along the coastline.
Right.
You have, and then in the flatlands you have some other type of deer. Then you get up into the Sierra Nevada mountains with the 9,000 foot elevations.
You have mule deer, yeah.
And you got the black-tailed deer up there, and you got one of the other ones up there.
That's where you start to get into like elk and moose and stuff too.
Yeah, you go farther north. Yeah, you'll see the elk. I don't think are there moose? Second, let me ask. I don't think I've ever heard anybody saying moose in California. So, are there moose in California?
Yeah, there probably used to be, but Newsom started taxing them, so they left.
While moose are not native in California, they are generally found in colder northern regions. Some have been documented. There have been some documented sightings and even a few moose populations in the most northern, eastern part of the state.
Yeah.
Up there where nobody goes.
Yeah, except for the moose. And they can't tax them up there.
Yeah.
In other words, Canada.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that north of that would be into Oregon, and then into Washington, then into Canada.
No, that's called North Washington, or it will be soon.
What's interesting is here in eastern Idaho, actually, they haven't been spotted this year. It still may be a little early, but there usually we get a mama moose and an offspring every year in town for several weeks, walking around grazing on people's lawns, and everybody just leaves it alone.
Yeah, let it alone. Don't just let them go.
Everybody's got all right. We're tracking it, so if the poop hits a fan, everybody's going to go out there and try to get it first.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Same thing with West Virginia and
Pennsylvania, Maryland,
Pennsylvania. Yeah. It was bad over Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, back in the late 70s.
Hell, down in Gaithersburg, Rockville, Gaithersburg. They have National Institutes of not health standards in technology, that one. And they have a fenced in, it's like 150 acres. It's all fenced in. Oh no, they have deer in there and they let them roam. They put blankets out and stuff for them. You're not allowed to hunt there or anything. And they will literally walk along the side of the road on the outside of the fence, right next to 4 lanes of 65-mile-an-hour traffic. And they'll just graze and do their thing. Occasionally you'll see one splattered. But in the evening, nope, they all go back inside the fence and they all bed down for the night because that's their safe spot.
Yeah.
Well, don't you know deer are attracted to moving objects of 55 miles an hour and 2 bright white lights and the horn blowing?
That's right. And they're also attracted to those yellow signs that say deer crossing because they go there to cross, in the worst areas. Yeah, that was a radio show. I remember that one. That was funny. Why can't they put those signs somewhere else?
They know how to identify themselves by picture.
Yeah,
that's right. They're like, oh, we cross here? Okay. Splat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, plan your garden accordingly to the weird weather. Because, things, weather, this year the weather is really weird here. Hang on. Let me get it up here. And so we got, come on, where there it is. There. Okay, here we go. So for the rest of this month and into next month, these are the highs for tomorrow. 48 degrees, 51 degrees, 62 degrees, 65 degrees, 69 degrees on Wednesday, 61, 48, 53, 55, 55, 61, 59, 58, 55 on Friday the 4th.
But your lows are all in the low 30s, aren't they?
Here's what's weird. Hang on here. Saturday. I haven't refreshed it here, but here it says Saturday was 25. Now I haven't refreshed that one, but the current one now says Saturday is 32. So it's warmer.
You might
Sunday is 42, 38, 36, 45, 37, 33, 33, 36, 39, 43, 41, 39, 38.
So
in the next 20
I'm going to tell
days,
you flat out, it's a trick. Don't fall for it. They can't predict the weather one day out, and they're telling you the temperatures for 3 weeks. Yeah, it's a trick. They want you to plant so it all dies. Oh, we didn't know it was an unexpected frost. Yeah, sure. Whatever, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, this is not a sure thing. This is from weather.com.
Yeah.
And then it goes and it gives the percentages of moisture. Saturday's supposed to be 21%. On the other one, it says 50% chance of snow on the NOAA weather site. But yeah, it's some of the percentage gets down to a 4%, 5%, 7%. Yeah, and it's all bright sunny.
Yeah, until that phenomenon known as there's actually a technical name they gave it, but all of a sudden there's clouds that were not predicted, and they're in like straight lines and things, and then the temperature drops. So yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
Well, actually, around here, the temperature drops more when there's not a cloud in the sky at our elevation.
At night or in the morning?
Anytime. It drops more when there's no clouds in the sky because all the heat just goes. Whoop!
Yeah, well.
Yeah, when it gets cloudy and stuff, the temperature goes up. The 69 is on a partly sunny day. And so it's going to be up and down. It's weird, but it's never been like that since 2016 when we bought the property. So
yeah, remember some of the videos I put up of snow?
Mm-hmm.
It's next to gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we got the odd snow bank, like where it was like 7 feet tall, but it's gone pretty much.
Yeah. And on my place, on the north side of the house, where I have the awning built now over the patio, there is usually an area where it shades the garden area there, about a 2.5 foot wide strip of snow that is usually there until middle of May. It's gone. Today it was gone.
Yep.
On the north side of the shop, where there is snow usually until the middle of June, it's gone.
I remember living in Maine in 71. We were in Portland. We were hunting Easter eggs in 3 feet of snow. I mean, and nobody batted an eye. It's like we had snow in April.
Yeah. Now, did you have evil people that put out white eggs, just plain hard-boiled eggs out there?
No, my mom wasn't that nasty. And this wasn't like a town Easter egg hunt. This was with my mom.
Yeah.
My dad would shovel pathways around and make little shelves in the 3 foot of snow, and we'd run around and look for the eggs. And yeah, and they were plastic eggs. She didn't put real eggs out there because that was food. She didn't want the eggs to freeze if we didn't find them. She wanted her food back.
My sister, who's 10 years older than me, and my cousin Debbie, who is 9.5 years older than me, decided to be turds one year. They went turds. Sneaky, bratty turds. All right. They went and
froze. Wow, big freeze. Or maybe I'm frozen. You there, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He froze. Wow, that was it. They went and you froze for like.
Never gone back. So yeah, this was a communication glitch. Anyways,
they were turds and they went and go ahead.
They dyed a couple dozen of the eggs the same color as the little blue
Wow.
Short freeze. As a little blue robin eggs. And then they took the paintbrushes and put the speckles on them. So they look like giant robin eggs.
Nice.
And then they made a couple of nests out and set them out there. And we're all like, Mom, Dad, look at this.
Yeah.
Wayne, welcome. And so,
ostrich robins.
Yeah. And so, we found several of them there, and then we found some down on the ground and stuff, and everyone's freaking out, and they're just over on the side there because my cousin had there was Jay, Debbie, Carrie, Roland, and Laddie, the 5 of them, and then there was the 4 of us in our family, and we're out there, and then the 2 oldest girls are out there just laughing their butts off. So finally, my grandmother noticed what was going on, and yeah. That was the last year there was any custom, painting of eggs. You could only dye them by dipping them. You could turn them over and do psychedelics, eggs, coloring, dyeing on them, but there was no hand painting the eggs anymore. All right, so let's see. It's that time. Coming up here tomorrow on Camppatton Family Compound. The topic is, after China's economy collapses, what are your plans? Monday back here on Camppatton Family Compound. For Monday is what is siphoning, talking canning. We're not talking about the Kansas City credit card. Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping is first aid training, multiple levels. We're going to talk about why, what you should do about that, and where to get it. Thursday is the Midnight Ride. Next Friday here is Start Your Seeds. I actually should have swapped this around because I've already started my seeds because it's getting warm out there, but who knows? In 2 weeks, we may get another polar vortex. Who knows? But so that's what it is coming up here for the next week. I want to thank everybody that came in here and for their support and for the comments going on. And Mother Earth Garden Club came in. Whoa. Oh, there's why I missed her. Just got home with getting supplies to repair the greenhouse tomorrow. Good luck on that. I hope it works out fine. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Lewis, Mark, thanks for coming up here. And everyone, think about what you want to grow and order your seeds now. Some of the places are already running out of seeds. M.I. Gardner was out of some of the watermelon seeds I wanted to get already. He's out of certain watermelon seeds.
No, he just did a video. His whole farm flooded out or something because he's near a stream where he moved to his new farm, or some kind of a runoff area or some crap. There was lawsuits he talked about a while back. Yeah, but he got flooded out pretty bad. So,
yeah. All righty, get the seeds you can and try getting. If you're all right, speaking of watermelon, get seeds that get non-GMO seeded heirloom watermelons.
Because save the seeds.
Save the seeds. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.